Hey everyone, my name is Noble Absinthe, and welcome back to my Samurai Jack Retrospective. Today we're on episode 9, Jack Under the Sea. Let's get started. So the start of this episode takes place at a shipyard, where our hero Jack is enjoying some tea with a fisherman. He's being told a story about an undersea utopia that holds a time machine. Jack hears time machine, and just goes off to find it. Jack was hoping to do some diving to find the city, but instead he gets bonked on the head, and is saved by a giant transparent fish that also doubles as a form of transportation. It's here we get a bunch of really nice establishing shots of undersea life, and there's some really nice tranquil music to accompany it. Jack makes his way to the undersea city, and after some sleuthing around like Solid Snake, we meet the citizens of this utopia, the Triceratops. And it turns out, they're friendly. They welcome Jack to their civilization and invite him to dinner.
Sushi.
Me and Jack had the same exact reaction. I mean, if you're a sushi fan, your eyes must have ejaculated. We get some backstories from both sides. Jack first tells his, and the Triceratops tell theirs. They tell Jack about how their world used to be on the surface, but after Aku happened, they were sunken down to the bottom of the ocean. Both sides have this huge grudge against Aku, and before Jack can ask his request to use their time machine, Sean Connery beats him to the punch.
The time machine, yes?
Can Samurai Jack just get any more awesome? We have Sean Connery as a goddamn sea monkey. It's so beautiful.
Yes, and without gills too. Good show, boy.
This is all very well and nice. Jack is treated for some grub, sleep, and a trip back home. It all seems too easy, right? Yeah, so where's the conflict? Well, it's right here. Jack gets betrayed by the Triceratops.
What a twist!
They were working for Aku this entire time so that they can bring their civilization back to the surface. Aku then decides to kill Jack off in a very slow and painful fashion. You know, if you just crushed the snow globe, the huge amounts of atmospheric pressure probably would have killed him instantly. But still, it's pretty fucked up. After successfully delivering Jack to Aku, they request him to hold up his part of the obligation. Aku then promptly tells them to go fuck themselves. They then mobilize their armies to attack Aku, and the result of what happens after this should be kind of obvious. After realizing they haven't got a snowball's chance in hell, they decide to free Jack and escape. Jack then urges them to turn around so he can counterattack. Jack is plunged right through Aku, and the beast is forced to retreat. We then get to see the Triceratops utopia resurface, and we get a gander at the sun. After apologizing to Jack, their leader says that there was no time machine, but maybe they can repay him in some other way. The episode ends with Jack opening up a bag of sushi and enjoying some lunch, in an area that looks strikingly similar to the last episode. This was a pretty good episode overall. I found it had a good amount of action, but really none of it from Jack. Remember, Jack only used his sword once in this entire episode, if you discount the scene of him poking a fish. It was kind of a recap of episode 1 where we got to see armies facing Aku and really not accomplishing anything. When I originally watched this episode, I had to question why the Triceratops didn't figure that Aku would betray them. I mean, he is very well known for being the evil, shape-shifting master of darkness, right? I originally assumed they only betrayed Jack because they thought this was the only way to restore their home. And this won't be the last time it'll happen either. After thinking about it for a little bit, there is a pretty understandable reason for their betrayal. In episode 2, one of the characters that gave Jack his name says that Aku has always just been in power. No one really knows why or how, it's just that the history before Aku just doesn't exist. No one really knew of Aku's real treachery or invincibility. He's just this giant looming being that runs the show, like an evil god that you can call up on speed dial when you think you can both mutually benefit. Just the risk of betrayal is pretty high. No one knows about the magic sword that originally sealed Aku, and the titanic fight between Jack and Aku. The opening sequence where Aku recalls the events of their fight makes so much more sense now. Aku is painting himself as the hero, or as a villain in the right, but this is all a history only he knows. In the opening sequence, Aku mentions Jack's sword. The Triceratops in this episode had no faith in Jack's blade. They didn't know what it was, and they didn't think it was the key to destroying him. This episode got me thinking that Aku might be responsible for a dark void in history. Human beings are really good at recording history, so it would make sense for Aku to destroy all these records. Keep the people ignorant of who you are because knowledge is power. While this episode was very light on Jack doing stuff, it was a pretty solid episode overall and I found it enjoyable. Although I do find it hard to rewatch episodes like this, where you know the hero is going to be betrayed. I wish Jack got into a more meaningful fight to compensate for this, but oh well. We get to see him save an entire civilization, and Sean Connery is in it, so there's that. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to stay tuned on the series, please tick that subscribe button and the chime next to it to stay updated. Likes and shares are always appreciated, and I do read every comment. I now know that Samurai Jack is coming out on March 11th, and to answer the question, yes, I will be reviewing the episodes when they come out. I just need to get my hands on those episodes, so look forward to current episode reviews coming out in tandem with this series. I wanted to tell you guys that I will be doing a top all-time Samurai Jack episodes video, where I go from the very worst to the very best, even though even the very worst Samurai Jack episodes are still like really good compared to like cartoons that are released today. I was thinking of doing a generic top 10, but I got inspired by Democracy and his worst to best bosses in Dark Souls. You know, I was originally going to make this 52-1, but since we have season 5 coming really soon, I might just add those episodes to the mix as well, to make it a more concise overall package. It really all depends on how long this series will go for, my retrospective. I still have a crap ton more episodes to get through, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I was also thinking of doing a community vote on what you guys think are the best episodes. I just have to find a way to tally your votes, and that'll be its own episode. I want you guys to share your thoughts and experiences with, your favorite episodes. I like sharing my thoughts on what the absolute best are, but that's really just my opinion. I would like to have this be a community project where we all share our opinions. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll make an update video, or I'll tell you guys some place for you all to vote. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.